250 applications, and you're gonna tell me Web3 gaming is that?
What we are here to do is help the devs understand gaming. It's also about how do you monetize, the game so that it's sustainable. We already have a huge network of gaming-focused investors. All of these are some of the top-tier gaming investors across the world. The vibes are good. And when the vibes are good, the fundamentals are good in terms of developer numbers, actual GDP and volume. Nobody tracks these metrics like the way that Solana does. Building a game in Web2 is significantly harder to attract funds, attract early community.
Web2 gaming is building gaming. In Web3, we're building gaming and blockchain.
And I think we gotta play into our strength. Like the strength of Web3 is.
All right, guys, we have another episode here at the Creator House, sponsored by Solana. And we brought in probably one of the biggest names right now in Web3 gaming, building on Solana. They've been, man, I don't know if you guys were at Breakpoint, they had this massive booth there showcasing some of the coolest tech. And man, tech is not sexy. Tech is not something that's, the word that we want to throw around to gamers. But when you started really seeing what they were building and they started telling you what they were building, I was like, yo, man, this is the kind of cutting edge technology that we needed. So I said to myself, I know these guys are in San Francisco. I was hunting them down. I found their BD guy. I found their CTO. I was like, yo, bro, where is Chris? I need him down here. We need to record. We need to tell the story of what's happening at Sonic. And we need to find out the alpha. Because if he doesn't give us the alpha, we ain't putting this video out. So Sonic, Chris, big shoes to fill here.
Yes,
but
sir.
Before you start, 30-second intro on who you were before Web3 gaming.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I'm one of the co-founders of Sonic SVM. Before Web3 gaming, I was at ByteDance, TikTok's mother company, working on products, working on strategy, investment, really looking over consumer landscape of the entire globe. When we joined crypto, we got dropped in the middle of Solana. We were chewing glass since 2021. It's a very different landscape now. Everything is possible on Solana now. We've been with the ecosystem for 3.5 years, really grinding within the gaming space, within entertainment, and just doing what we do best, which is bring distribution and games to Solana.
Chris, timelines have been very doomy. Web3 gaming is dead. Everybody all over the timeline is, we're going to zero. I actually put in a McDonald's application before I came in, and I said, hey, I got to prepare myself in case something happens. Tell me, how do you feel the sentiment in the space? What's your thoughts on all this? Is it just noise? What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, for sure. So my timeline has been pretty optimistic, I would say, especially when it comes to the founders and some of the core funds that we're talking to constantly. Now that Sonic is live on mainnet and also live on Solana as a SPL token, we've seen so many new developments towards within Solana as well. I think for us, really, we're thinking about what are the best products that are building on top of Solana. What are some of the next generation of social trading, gaming within gaming, and the marketplaces, the mechanisms within gaming as well. So I think it's actually a very exciting times. People are burnt out in February, but March, it seems like the vibes are coming back, GDC, GTC as well. There's development within the space when it comes to some of the largest launches. I'm sure like Solana Games already shared some of those, but within Sonic as well. We just received 250 hackathon submissions. Over 65 of those are gaming devs and gaming studios. So I'm like more than bullish on just a total TAM.
I gotta take a time out because I think this guy just needs to, let me translate what he said. Even though he said it in English, let me translate. Make sure your feed is curated to the right people. He said he is following other builders that are building in this space. 250, how many was it?
250.
250 applications. And you're gonna tell me Web3 gaming is that hey, Chris, you gotta do the plug. What's the Twitter link? How are we following you? What's Sonic's Twitter link? Because I need to turn my notifications on right now.
Yeah, for sure. Sonic SVM, that's the Twitter handle, and just follow us for any of the mainnet issued notifications.
Hey, what's your personal one?
My personal one is ChrizHuu, Chris Zhu. I go by the same handle across the board.
There you go. If you need to follow the right people in Web3 gaming, here's a great example of it. So we're here at GDC. 2025 is kicking off. What's been the goal for you this week? What are you looking most forward to? What's something that you learned this week that you want to take back to the team?
Yeah, so actually it's GDC and GTC, and there's a big crossover happening within gaming and AI, and we've seen some exciting projects on Solana, just doing great things. Digimon, for example. Not sure if you guys heard about that project, one of my favorites so far. They built a simulated environment to create AI-based games, agent systems, launchpads, all integrated within this one product. And the team's cracked, like Berkeley kids out of A16Z. So they've been, just grinding at that. And for us, it's really to recruit and possibly purchase and also just get connected to these gaming studios and help them, bring them into Solana and do the publishing, do the distribution, do the go-to-market, and work with guys like you guys so that they have the most attention that they need, which we always talk about. Solana is the internet capital markets, Sonic is the attention capital markets, and then we bring all of that attention together and help these games just go boom within the ecosystem.
There you go, guys. Here's the quick rundown of what 2025, what these guys are building. They're straight chefs in the kitchen, straight up cooking still. So Chris, tell me, what is Sonic doing right now? For those that don't know about Sonic, maybe give them a 10-second plug, but what is it that message that you are right now telling the team, the BD team, hey, man, we really need to connect with these type of founders or these type of games because there's a way to help them amplify what they're building.
Yeah, for sure. Sonic, as you may know, is the first chain extension on top of Solana, and people know us as, Solana's first L2, the gaming L2, such and so forth. But really, Sonic, what it is, it's an isolated pool of devs, builders, ecosystem, and liquidity just for Solana entertainment products and games, right? And when we're thinking about, what we want to tell our team and the message that we're trying to give to the ecosystem, it's really the type of founders that we want to find are scrappy. They don't have to be AAA huge devs, which Solana have great leads into. We don't want to fight with that. What we want to do is to grow the mid-core, smaller studios and help them understand how to issue assets. How do you get your assets to the hands of millions and millions of users? How do we combine something like TikTok, which we made a mini app for, grew it to 2 million users, 500,000 airdrop holders. How do we use that distribution channel and bring those users into other games that we help?
Yeah, man, that's just a power statement there and a lot to dissect. And I think that it's just the simple message is we need to get in your DM and set up time for a demo because, man, there is just a lot there. And I think that it's a tool, infrastructure, marketing, all these things that you're mentioning, liquidity, like these are music to most game devs' ears, right? And so going into 2025, it's a big year, pivotal year for gaming as well, I think, in crypto or blockchain or whatever you want to call it, Web3 games. What is one of the things that you guys are looking forward to the most at Sonic that you guys have been building behind the scenes? If it's allowed to say, I know this is a recording and you can spill alpha and don't worry, you are the founder. I mean, last thing you get is just a slap on your wrist.
Just gotta know when you guys are letting this out. But yeah, so there's a framework called Rush that we're building. It's an abstraction framework that allows game devs, to not have to understand how accounts are initialized on Solana. That's been a big pain in the ass for a lot of the game devs, and it takes a long time for them to understand the account systems, the states on top of Solana. So we've been able to kind of build a framework to abstract all of that away, and basically give that engine to the hands of the devs. And that's obviously why we're here at GDC, talking to the game devs, talking to them about Solana, and we're very, very excited about that. So there's a V2 coming out for what we call Rush. Check out Rush at Sonic SVM.
All right, Chris. So you're giving us the alpha, you've given us what's coming, but let me ask you this, big year ahead as well in conferences. You're here at GDC. Are you looking to attend more Web2 gaming conferences or Web3 gaming conferences or a mashup? And how do you look like in the next year of where you're going to be going to?
Yeah, for sure. So these conferences are great because everyone is gathering at the same place. We do, back-to-back meetings the whole day. But for the rest of the year, we actually want to be, heads down building. The info that needs to be shipped, the interviews that have to be done online, stuff like that. But for us, we already have a huge network of gaming-focused investors. So the likes of Galaxy Interactive, BigCraft, Gamer Girls, all of these are some of the top-tier gaming investors across the world. And they're bringing the leads to us. So for the rest of the year, if we're not meeting these devs in person, we're more than happy to just meet them online and then build the things that they need. So I think conferences so far no such plans as more Web2 gaming conferences. We do this. This is our host, and we're here once a year.
I love it. I love to hear it. I think, man, you guys are very much well understanding the market and very much well understanding. Seems like the feedback from devs, especially on what they need right now and the right resources. And I think that is very, very important for gaming in this space, because I always say Web2 gaming is building gaming, right?
Yep.
In Web3, we're building gaming and blockchain.
Yes.
And we're almost at a disadvantage when it comes down into the sense of funding, right? Because we're funding a lot less than the Web2 big guys, and a good portion of it has to go towards infrastructure, technology, and all this stuff that leads to saying, hey, we might have to not build the next iteration of the game in order to build the technology. But you guys are here to say, well, we need to change that narrative. We need to help that narrative to be more focused on the gaming and let professionals like you guys come in and step in with maybe off-the-shelf, products that allow for games to be more focused on what's true, the game experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we got to play into our strength. Like the strength of Web3 is where the assets lie, right? How do we create assets on a digital ledger? And the ledger is already there. It's getting faster, getting cheaper. And that's not going to change. We're just going to commoditize what is the block space, which is the ledger. And on top of that, what we are here to do is help the devs understand the business model within Web3 is circulating around the asset itself. What are the assets that you're selling in the game? Does that business model work? And I think gaming, as much as it is about the gaming experience, it's also about how do you monetize the game so that it's sustainable. You can always offer that to the end audience. If you look at some of the largest games in the world, the gaming mechanism might have stayed the same from Dota 2 to League of Legends, for example, but the business model is completely different based on the technology that you're building. And Solana is a drastically different tech that we're utilizing. So we are really advising some of our portfolio companies and some of our devs to understand how do you issue and what type of bonding curve to use, what type of DEXs to use on top of Solana to have the best experience when you launch and monetize your game.
I have to ask $1 million question. I hope you don't mind. Why Solana?
Yeah, we've been here since I guess 2021 at this point. Got introduced by one of our lead investors, who's now not a investor anymore. And then within the space, we've been kind of grinding, working with the devs, but nothing. One thing that never changed is the developer sentiment. Like you were saying, the sentiment is so important within the space. The vibes are good. And when the vibes are good, the fundamentals are good in terms of developer numbers, actual GDP and volume within the entire ecosystem. Nobody tracks these metrics like the way that Solana does. Mm-hmm. And they've run this very, very efficiently across the entire ecosystem, which is now very decentralized. Super Team, the likes of Solar, there are just these organizations that help every dev achieve success. And I think that is not seen anywhere else. We've talked to every single ecosystem out there when we first started out. Solana was the home and it will stay the home.
The gaming on Solana account too. Don't forget that plug.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, one of the fastest growing accounts I've seen is super impressive. Our team's been building this for the last 3.5 years and couldn't figure out a way to grow virally like you guys. So
yeah, I appreciate it. I'll send you 20 Sol after this.
Or 20 DMs.
Hey, there you go. Chris, man, so you've kind of given us the breakdown on Sonic, what to look for in Sonic, why we should reach out to you, work with you, your perspective on the market, your perspective on conferences. I got to ask now, aside from the conferences, aside from work, you're here in San Francisco, man. Are you doing the Golden Gate Bridge? Are you doing Alcatraz, In-N-Out Burger, Tony's Pizza? What is it that you're doing outside of work?
Yeah. So I've been in San Francisco a bunch at this point. So those are not particularly the scenes that I'm going for. But I'm here talking to AI devs. I'm here talking to A16 makers, investors. I am here to understand. Really, like this is still a part of work, but I'm here to understand what's going on in the Bay Area, what's going on within SF. And actually, like the city itself changed quite a bit from the last time I'm here. I feel safer. I feel actually more at home this time around. And there are some amazing people building extremely cool things on the AI side, trying to bring that within the gaming scene as well. MCP servers recently have been, the talk of towns. So just here to learn and just here to get excited by amazing builders.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear, Chris. Because I think like, you know, people have different agendas, and I think you're very much I could tell wanting to get the feedback, wanting to get the understanding of the sentiment, right? Because I think that is very just like a crucial part of building.
Yes.
You know, product market fit is one that maybe many people miss, and they just put out the product and then they're like, oh, they didn't want that, or they could have adjusted. But you're very much you're on the road and making sure, hey, what's next? Chris, what's one message right now that you think is very important to send to other game developers building in Web3? One message that you think is maybe motivational or maybe very much needed to sometimes not given to you as well from starting in the space that you think that, man, I wish somebody had put this in my ear.
Yep. You have the best funding environment in the entire world for any asset class. Crypto is that. Building a game in Web2 is significantly harder to attract funds, attract early community. You have the best marketing tool and the best human coordination tool, which is your token and your asset, right? And you can use that to your advantage and build an amazing game on top of that. But go back to your community and talk to your community, because in crypto, that's everything that we're about.
Yeah. Chris, before you head out, I wanted to let you know, since you're going to be still talking to a lot of people, I need you to make sure voice is strong.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to give you the official cup of the
you so much.
Solana Creator House. It's Stay Liquid. Because not only do you have to stay liquid in the market, you got to stay liquid, well hydrated.
It's a good reminder.
Hey, I need to make sure you keep sending the message of Solana and Sonic and what you're building. So that's for you. Make sure you
so
stay
much, sir.
liquid. And hey, thank you for tuning in to another show with Chris from Sonic. These guys are OGs in the space. They're straight up cooking. This is definitely why you need to follow them and why you need to reach out to their team to find out how you get involved and how you work with them. And that's another episode of the Creator House here, sponsored by Solana in San Fran. And then we don't know where we'll see each other next, but hey, Accelerate is in New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see you in New York.
And hey, we might run it back and do another episode.
Yeah, and we'll be there. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Chris, and we'll see you in New York.